We have to always remember that in business, when we market anything, people want to know, okay, but so what? How's that going to benefit me? What do I get out of this? So, um, and I hear this often. So when we think about the question I asked of why should people care about going on a trip? Why should they care about travel? I hear things like you said, which is, well, the world's bigger than I'm paraphrasing you,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
we're in our own hometown. And when we should see how other people live, people are going to say, well, why do I care? But why still? You know, we we are avid travelers. We understand it because we've
Yeah.
had those experiences.
Yeah.
But when we're marketing ourselves and we're trying to build a business, we have to dummy everything down and always put it back to how is this going to benefit the traveler so they can understand how this trip is going to benefit them. So some of the things that you're saying are things like they'll gain gratitude and appreciation for what they have. Maybe it's a sense of fulfillment, especially since you said working in the corporate world. What are they looking for? And these are the pain points. And this is why it's important to identify who you are trying to target
Mm-hmm.
and what do they struggle with? What goes through their head? So if you're going to say, for example, I'll help people in the corporate world to optimize on their 2 weeks vacation, what are they looking for? I know that a lot of people, excuse me, in the corporate space, they feel unfulfilled. They're
Mm-hmm.
working a
Yeah.
job in a corporate world that they do stuff for other people, not for themselves. This can also be applied to like busy moms or full-time students. They're doing stuff for other people. They're working, they're taking care of others. So fulfillment is something. So these are things that you have to start writing down and identifying of what pain points are you helping solve for your ideal clients.
Okay.
Um, so maybe appreciation and gratitude, maybe it's finding happiness and what that looks like for themselves. This
Yeah.
trip can help them figure out what is their path and purpose in life. Who
Mm-hmm.
are they? Who do they want to be as a person? So when we hear these general terms in the world of travel, like relaxation and rejuvenation, or even wellness travel, what does that mean for your ideal client? So maybe it's they need time to disconnect, they need to self reflect, they want time alone. They want to feel joy and happiness again.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of this can start with why did you start traveling? We like to say the pretty, and I'm very guilty of this when I'm asked in interviews. We like to give the pretty answers of why we started traveling. I wanted to see new places, and these are very surface level reasons why I tried to tap deeper into this, into through all my messaging and all of my posts and everything is very surface level. We don't travel to meet new people. We don't travel to see new sights. We don't travel to try new foods. Below the surface, what do those things do for us and what feeds us? We hear things on a personal level like it feeds our soul. Travel saves me. These are all things that I've heard people naturally tell me. It gives me a sense of freedom. Freedom from what? So people are looking for these things. So when we say meet new people, what does that mean? They want human connection,
Mm-hmm.
especially after the past couple of years, maybe even in the social world, in the corporate world. Just because they're working together in a workplace doesn't mean that there's a social interaction. Maybe they're looking for meaningful connections.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're looking for, if they're in the corporate space, maybe they're looking for creativity. I
Mm-hmm.
know when I'm stuck on projects, I like to get outside in nature. I like to break away from my work, go to a body of water or sit outside in the sunshine and do something different that still gives me inspiration for what I'm working on in my project. So you have to find these pain points of what your ideal client's looking for so you can paint this better picture of why they should travel in the first place. Then you can identify now how can you help them? And you can use some of those pain points as the structure for your coaching. So maybe you want to empower them that they can have the confidence to go on this trip on their own. Maybe they can create a trip on their own budget and don't feel like they need to work overtime when they get back to the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can use this travel experience to find the creativity that they're looking for. When you can identify what they're looking for out of this trip, you can better help